YouTube. What is up? It's your boy The Chantilly, and today we're going to be taking a look at one of the most popular video game ETFs, or exchange traded funds. When you look into ETF, they have risen in popularity over the last decade or so because it's a form of passive investing, because it allows you to be in the market or in a specific sector of the market without having to pick individual stocks. So let's say you want the S&P 500, there's the SPY. You want the Dow, there's the DIA. If you want the cannabis industry, there's MJ. And so there's different ETFs for everything, including us gamers. And today we're going to be taking a look at the VanEck Vectors Video Gaming and Esports ETF, also known as ESPO. The ticker symbol is ESPO. As of July 27th, 2020, it has a stock price of $55.09. It's a large cap growth equity. It's in the consumer discretionary sector, more specifically the gaming sector, and they pay an annual dividend of 8 cents a share. The ETF has an expense ratio of 0.55%, meaning for every $1,000 you invest, it'll cost you $5.50 in fees. And just as a point of reference, the average ETF expense ratio is about 0.44, and the category average, according to ETFDB.com, is 0.4. And so if you bought $1,000 worth of shares, you would make $80 a year in dividends and pay about $5.50 in fees. But keep in mind, there are also other fees and stuff that the ETF charge, so be sure to read and understand everything before investing in them. There's more than just the expense ratio. This ETF is up 42.52% year to date, and we're going to take a look at their top 10 holdings. There's 25 in total, but let's take a look at their top 10 as of June 30th. 2020, and those holdings are at number 1, Tencent at 8.51%. Tencent is a multinational conglomerate that invests in many things, but one of its major investing arms is the video game industry, as they are the 100% owner of Riot Games, makers of League of Legends, Teamfight Tactics, and Valorant, the game playing in the background right now. They also own 40% of Epic Games, the creator of Fortnite. They own 11.5% of Bluehole, the creators of PUBG, and 5% of Activision Blizzard and Ubisoft. The second largest holding is Nvidia, or Nvidia. I'm not exactly sure how you say it. I say Nvidia. I know some people say Nvidia. So let me know how you say it down in the comment section below. But either way, it's 7.76%. And Nvidia, in my opinion, has the best graphics cards in the world. They have some other segments in their business that also make it a very good company to own. But we're going to stay focused on the gaming side of the company. And we're going to talk a little bit more about Nvidia later on in the video. At number 3 at 6.6% is Nintendo. Nintendo is one of the dominant console producers in the world, with the DS's, the Wii's, the Switches, and they do a great job of selling accessories that feel like necessities. That kind of rhymes. For example, the docks for the Nintendo Switch. They also have a lot of valuable IP, such as Mario, Pokemon, etc. At number 4, they have AMD at 6.13%, and AMD makes processors, graphics cards. They also got a boost from their competitor Intel, who announced the delayment of their 7nm chips. AMD is also tasked with making the CPUs and GPUs for the next generation gaming consoles, the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series X. At number 5, they have Activision Blizzard, making up 5.9% of the portfolio. And we talked a little bit about Activision Blizzard on this channel. And Activision Blizzard has a plethora of AAA titles such as Call of Duty, World of Warcraft, Overwatch. And they also have a very strong mobile gaming division in King. At number 6, they have Bilibili, making up 5.62% of the portfolio. And Bilibili is a video sharing site in China where you can post videos, live stream, and do pretty much anything. There's a variety of categories on the site. At number 7, they have Electronic Arts, making up 5.57% of the portfolio. And Electronic Arts is a company that makes a lot of money, especially on the bottom line. They have strong cash flow, and this company has a very strong presence in sports games such as FIFA, Madden, NHL, UFC. They also have popular games outside of sports like Star Wars, Apex Legends, and Anthem. At number 8, we have C, and C makes up 5.01% of the ETF. C is an internet platform provider in Southeast Asia and Taiwan. They have 3 major parts, including digital entertainment, e-commerce, and financial services. At number 9, we have NetEase, that makes up 4.83% of the ETF, and NetEase has an online game developing and operating business. NetEase recently extended their publishing partnership with Activision Blizzard to 2023, and recently purchased a minority stake in Behavior, Canada's largest independent game developer. And at number 10, we have NCSoft, making up 4.63%. And NCSoft is a South Korean game developer. And so overall, I do like the composition of this ETF. They have strong companies that have firm footing in the gaming industry, especially the heavier weighted stocks in the ETF, which I'm considering for this specific case to be 6% or higher. And those stocks would be Tencent, Nvidia, Nintendo, and AMD. Those four stocks all have strong bases and a catalyst. Tencent has League of Legends, which is still going strong, and a new game in Valorant, which from the way that they introduced the game kind of made you want to play it. And then once people played it, streamers are continuing to play it, they're having a good time, and that's going to continue to drive people to the player base. As they see more of their favorite streamers play it, they're going to want to play it, they're going to like the game. And if you've seen the price of those Valorant skins, it's going to cost you a pretty penny to look good playing the game. Then with Nvidia, we have some anecdotal evidence, because when I was looking for my PC, a lot of them were sold out and a lot of them had Nvidia GPUs in them. And when you compare Nvidia graphics cards to a lot of other graphics cards, you see why people want them. But they also have their next generation of graphics cards set to release. Then you have Nintendo, which still has the Switch, which is still going strong, but there are reports that Nintendo will be releasing a new model of the Switch. And then we have AMD, who will be making the CPU and GPUs for the next generation consoles, extending their lead on top rival Intel. But I did put together an ETF of sorts of my own, and I want to know if I cheated, because I added some companies to my ETF that have a strong footing in the gaming industry, but gaming may not be their main focus. So let me know if I cheated. Okay, let me know if I cheated. And tied for the heaviest weighted stock in the ETF at 14% is Autodesk. If you've never heard of Autodesk, look carefully at a lot of the loading screens of the games you play. Autodesk has a program called Maya, which is a 3D model and animation software that is very popular amongst game developers. Games that have used Autodesk in the past are Dead by Daylight, Rainbow Six Siege, For Honor, Call of Duty Black Ops 3, Uncharted 4, NHL, Watch Dogs, just to name a few. That's just to name a few games. And then on top of Maya, they have a program called Shotgun. And Shotgun software makes project management and pipeline tools that help creative studios stay on track, from scheduling to reviewing, collaborating, and managing their digital assets. And so Autodesk provides a lot of valuable tools to the gaming studios. And I understand people saying, well, Autodesk shouldn't be this high and this heavily weighted in the ETF. And I understand that. I can understand that concern. But tied for number one is Tencent at 14%, and we've already discussed why Tencent has so much weight in a gaming ETF. 100% owner of Riot Games, 40% owner of Epic Games, 11.5% of Bluehole, 5% of Ubisoft and Activision. Tencent is one of the most powerful companies in this sector. And number three, making up 12%, would be AMD. Again, we've already discussed the fact that they're making the CPUs and GPUs for the next generation consoles. They also have their 7nm Zen 3 chips slated to come out later this year. They already have the 7nm Zen 2 on the market. The Zen 3s will be coming out later this year. Then we have Nvidia coming in at 12% as well, and we've already discussed the wave of PC buying and their new GPUs that are set to hit the market. So for the sake of not sounding 100% repetitive, I'm going to kind of skip through the things we've already discussed when mentioning these companies. At number 5, at 12% as well, we have Activision Blizzard, which has a lot of AAA games across different genres and a strong mobile division. And at number 6, this could be considered bending the rules, and that's Amazon, making up 8% of the ETF. And the more I think about it, the less I think this is bending the rules, because you can't think of streaming video games without Twitch. And shameless plug, follow me over on Twitch, twitch.tv/the_Chantilly. But Twitch is by far the most popular streaming platform, especially when you look at the charts. Take a look at this chart from an article written by TechCrunch. And Twitch viewers live streamed over 2.72 billion hours, or 72.2% of all live hours watched out of the four companies on the chart. But I didn't want to weight Amazon too heavily in this ETF because they do so many different things, and gaming isn't their top priority. Same with YouTube. And speaking of YouTube, at number 7 at 8%, we have Alphabet, which, again, you can consider bending the rules until you think about it a little bit more. YouTube saw 735.54 million hours watched, or 19.5% of the chart. YouTube is also more than just a streaming platform for content creators, because they're able to upload gameplay to the site. And so both Amazon and Google making up 8% due to the fact that they're both staple companies in the industry and are industry leaders in streaming and gaming content. Twitch is the leader in streaming, and YouTube is the leader in gaming content. And so I feel like 8% is fair in this ETF because it's not too heavy, but it's still meaningful. Then we have Nintendo making up 8% as well, and we already discussed the new Switch model that's rumored to be coming out and the valuable IP that they own. At number 9, we have NetEase making up 6%. We've already discussed NetEase extending their publishing partnership with Activision Blizzard through 2023 and purchasing a minority stake in Behavior. And then at number 10, we have Bilibili, the video sharing site in China, making up 6%. And you'll notice that our ETFs aren't that much different. We have 7 of the 10 stocks are the same. We both have Tencent weighted the highest, mine is tied with Autodesk. We both have Nvidia second highest, mine is tied with Activision and AMD. And so when you look at the same core of gaming stocks, they're gonna pretty much be the same in every ETF with a change in personal preference, because I can't imagine a gaming ETF not having the most popular streaming site and the second most popular streaming site and the number 1 website for video game content in YouTube. I just couldn't leave them out of my ETF. And I want to take this time to acknowledge, if there were more than 10 spots, some of the companies that I would consider or put in the ETF, and that's Electronic Arts, Zynga, Bandai Namco, Take-Two Interactive, Sony, and Facebook. I couldn't put Facebook in the ETF. Facebook would be a very, very small part of the ETF if it was in it, because Facebook gaming is one of the fastest, if not the fastest growing. I think they might be the fastest growing. I'm not sure. I gotta look at the data again. But Facebook gaming is a viable contender, or is becoming a very viable contender. And so they have to be considered, but I don't know if I would put them in it, or if I did put them in it, they would be a very small portion. So let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below about my ETF. What are the 10 stocks that you would put in yours? I look forward to seeing it down in the comment section below. See you there.